So this technique is a self combination technique to deal with neck pain and postural integrity. So with time, obviously, gravity is this invisible hand that tends to want to push us down into these postures, and that can create the template for many, many problems, right? So I would say the sneakiest thing that you have to kind of monitor as we age and as with everybody is this concept of internally getting kind of bound in the front, where we get kind of puckered down, and then this restriction in this area is going to drive stress into the neck and the low back and shoulders and potentially hips. So in this case, we want to release this area. So a great way to do that is certainly by incorporating a breath. So a deep inhale. So if my fingers are representing my ribs, my deep inhale is going to be to target the muscles between the ribs, that meat between the ribs, not just my chest and shoulders, but I want to feel that deeper target of what might be on the inside casing of my, around my lungs, those muscles of the cage. So if you put the hands on the hips and on the top of your pelvis to create a little strut with your arm, what that'll do is keep you from pinching down on your low back. We don't want to pinch down on the low back. We want to kind of take the low back vertebrae that stack like so and separate them and then add extension. And by using your hands simply on your hips like so, I'm going to add the inhale. At the top of the inhale, I don't want to hold my breath. I want to keep trying to get more air in. And as I hold the breath, I pull those elbows back, add a little chin tuck. And release. So that's good for the chest area or the perch of the neck. Now the second part of this is to work on the fact that we tend to get tension and hold tension up in the upper part of our neck when we're cold, when we're scared, when we're angry. It tends to go here. So there's this propensity for these muscles on the back side of the neck, when there's pain or discomfort or uneasiness, they tighten and contract, and they don't relax when they're supposed to. The muscles on the front of the neck, in turn, tend to get weak, just like almost like a weak stomach does to the low back, and then the head tends to get stuck in this position. So to help work with that, we're going to do something very similar as the lower half of the chest. And now we're going to go to the neck. You're going to take your hands and cradle. Thumbs will go under the jaw to some extent, right near the angle of the jaw. The finger pads of my pointer finger and my ring finger are cradling the back of my skull. So I'm kind of here and here. And now all I have to do is inhale and pull my elbows similarly in a backwards fashion. And what that does is, as my elbows go backwards, I work these muscles on the back of my spine, the V muscles. The shoulder blades tend to go up and back and down this way. So the chest rises, the shoulder blade's going to come down and back. At the same time as I pull backward, my hands want to lift a little bit. So I get a little self-traction on the neck. And with that, I can add that little slight chin tuck to prevent myself from extending the neck. So inhale, elbows pull back, chin goes in. Keep inhaling, keep pulling, elbows backwards. Exhale and let it go. So now you're getting that little self-traction to unload maybe pain that comes over the top of the head, side of the head, in general neck pain, as well with the other previous exercise where we're working on releasing the middle 12 of the 24 bones in the body, or the rib cage. And it's already a cage, so we want to make sure it doesn't get any more of a cage. So we want to make sure we keep that limber with the ability of those ribs to kind of expand, rise and fall with breathing. That's really important for life. So we want to make sure this area doesn't get restricted with time, whether it's trauma related or just time and aging. These are the two really important activities you can do to maintain your overall postural and freedom of good posture and not get stuck into this restriction like so. So when you're standing in line at a grocery store or something, and you're waiting for the line to move, hands on the hips, deep breath in, exhale, off I go, push the cart a little further, and I can just do that while I'm standing around. At home, for the neck, if I'm pushing the microwave, I can wait for the microwave and take my hands like so and Exhale and get a nice stretch. And I'm also using my muscles and my shoulder blades to try to keep myself from getting in this habit and being more in this habit. This looks a lot healthier and happier and freer than this, right? So I don't see any research that says this is good for me, and I see plenty that says this is. So those are the two main kind of just lifers in terms of activities that you can do conveniently, opportunistically, and if you ever get a message of discomfort from the back or the neck or a little headache, immediately try the techniques, these two, and see if that actually feels a little bit better. Even if it only gets you a couple minutes, it can't be the wrong idea, and every time you use your own muscles to elongate, you're in a sense conditioning your postural muscles and you're strengthening them, just like when you go to the gym. But this is a lot more accessible, and if you're having a wonderful day and you feel great, well, have a great day. But as soon as you get one of those moments where you're having a little whisper of a complaint from their body, try to address it immediately before it becomes a shout, and then you have that ability to kind of maintain your overall postural integrity. So those two things I would really highly recommend. You're incorporating breathing, so you're stretching from inside out, strengthening the diaphragm or the breathing muscle. You're stretching the tight pectorals, you're strengthening the muscles between the shoulder blades, and you're overall just allowing yourself better balance. So that is really what I would recommend for almost every patient that comes in my door. Those two things are helpful for almost any condition because from the trunk of the tree, the branches swing. So that has to be included with almost any problem in the periphery of the arm, hand, elbow, shoulders, and hips. You want to make sure the mid-pole or the spine and the trunk of the tree has good integrity, otherwise the whole thing is not stable. So I hope that makes a little sense for you. Try those two stretches and see how that helps you in the future. All right, good luck with that.